Help support AMTV by becoming a patron, an AMTV staff member, and following us over on Twitter.
Hi there guys, it's Adam Martin here, and welcome to another episode of the Now Review. And for this instalment we're going to be taking a look at Now That's What I Call Dad Rock. That's right, we're going back to a single review this time, unfortunately. However, this is one of the newer albums that Now have released that came out in 2018. It came out at the same time as Now That's What I Call Jazz, which you can check out in a previous review I did. But yes, there are more rock-themed albums in Now's catalogue, and I'm going to talk more about those towards the end. But for now, let's take a look at Now That's What I Call Dad Rock. So first of all, I'd say this is a real strange title. I mean, I get that you want to release something for Father's Day, which this album definitely was, but why not just call it Now That's What I Call Dad? They did a similar thing last year, I think in 2017, they released Now That's What I Call Mum, which was specifically a, time for Mother's Day. So why not just do that? Dad Rock specifically? I mean, I know it's sort of a stereotype, a lot of the older generation of men like rock music, but I don't know, I just think it's an odd title. But let's have a look at the cover. You've obviously got a lot of speakers here, you've got a great guitar right there, so pretty standard, very similar to other rock albums we've seen from Now, like the classic rock one for example. There's the spine, just white and yellow, nothing too special. But of course, you've got to think of the all-important track list. So here's CD1, you're kicking it off with people like Queen, the Rolling Stones, U2, Bon Jovi. So you get a nice solid opening there. Though you will notice as you go on, you do have some classics like The Clash and The Jam, for example. But there are a lot of new songs on here too, but I'll talk more about that later. CD2 has things like Africa, which is debatably rock in my opinion. Got some more modern stuff, some classic stuff Run DMC with Aerosmith, of course, Blink-182. And finally, with CD3, you start with Wheatus and MGMT, and you just scroll down here. So yeah, that is your track list. And it's quite a weird one because, okay, I'd argue, if you're going for the older generation of men, as I seem to think this one is, why not go with an album that is purely songs, hit rock songs from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the stuff that they would have grown up with themselves when they were younger, and stuff they probably still love listening to. There's nothing wrong with including modern stuff on here as well. I mean, there are great songs here, but, I don't know that many dads who necessarily rock out to Avril Lavigne. I could be wrong, and it could just be me stereotyping, but it just seems like a very odd track list. You got a lot of classics in here, but you also have some new stuff that, I don't know, jars a bit with me. But hey, if your dad likes this, then who am I to complain? This did come out in 2018 at the start of June, and now let's take a look at the inside. So right off the bat you have the home of hit music in your pocket. It's the Now app. I really want to know how many people download this. Let me know if you have the Now app installed on your phone. So here's the disc, silver with a red trim. It's interesting, it's not what I expected, and it's interesting, the red's really striking, but it's just a bit dull. I hate anything that sort of uses grey or silver, it just looks so bland, so no, sadly not my favourite, unfortunately. And sadly CD2 and CD3 are pretty much the same, not much variety, just nice red, but just overall a bit bland. So overall, tracklist wise, is this worth the buy? Well, if you can take a look at this and you can think, yeah, my dad's gonna dig most of this stuff, then sure, it's definitely worth a purchase. But aside from that, if your dad only likes the classics or the modern stuff, then this doesn't provide a full package. I'd like to think when you buy an album for someone in particular, like a family member, you want to get an album that, they're not going to skip that many songs. They want to have songs they listen to, not 3 songs they like and then they skip the rest. But in any case, if you want to pick this up, you can still find it in HMV. It's now in their 2 for £15 range if you're interested. You can pick it up secondhand probably for a bit cheaper, either online or in places like CEX, the ones that still do CDs. But overall, unless you definitely just want to get this as a quick Father's Day present, or you know that your dad in particular will really enjoy it, then it's not really worth much time. I mean, I like to pick them up because I collect the Nows, and there's the odd song I might not have on it, but really, if you're just a casual buyer, then unless you're doing this for a gift, I'd pass. And that is it for this installment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. So thank you very much for watching again. Please leave a like, comment, share it around, subscribe, and until the next one, I will see you guys next time.
Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Jen Samantha Pringle, Hooks Media, Ben Freeman, Ethan Carberry-Holt, The Welsh Lady, Bruce Danton, The Broken Kitsumanoid, and Cooking at Nans and DIY, our AMTV staff members.